everybody. Crystal here, True Crime Tuesday. So this actually just happened. I read about it the other day. Jack Callahan, who drowned his father in a pond to exorcise demons out of him. You may be wondering, why do we always talk about demons on this channel? You know, good question, because I don't know. I've just found that people do some really crazy things for religion or based off of religion, and it seems to bring out the worst in people as opposed to the best, which is, I assume, is the intention. But yeah, this is a story of Jack Callahan. Jack Callahan was only 19 years old when he was arrested for claiming to have drowned his father in a pond because he saw a demon in his father's eyes. On June 28th, police were dispatched to a home in Duxbury, Massachusetts after receiving reports that Callahan was acting erratically and that his father was missing. Responding officers found Jack Callahan hyperventilating and distraught. Jack Callahan told investigators he'd submerged his father's head underwater several times, killing him, in an attempt to rid the 57-year-old Scott Callahan of a supernatural force, including a demon called Dirty Dan. Scott Callahan was later discovered unresponsive in Island Creek Pond, about 50 feet away from the shore of the pond. Emergency responders attempted life-saving measures on the Massachusetts man before rushing him to Beth Israel Deaconess Hospital in Plymouth, where he was pronounced dead. A preliminary autopsy revealed Scott Callahan had waterlogged lungs. He also suffered broken blood vessels in his eyes, an abrasion on his head, and a cause of matter of death is still pending, according to the medical examiners. So, from what that sounds like he may have had, or him and Jack may have had an altercation prior. Broken blood vessels, he may have strangled him at some point, allegedly. And then the abrasion, of course, which would lead me to believe that they may have had that altercation in there, allegedly. We're saying allegedly because, reasons. Jack Callahan was arrested and charged with 1 count of murder. A day earlier, the father and son had taken a ride share from Boston to Crocker Park in Duxbury, officials said. Prosecutors alleged that Scott and Jack were picked up by an Uber at the Boston hotel. Scott Callahan, who suffered from a past brain injury and other health problems, was reportedly intoxicated. Jack was sent to go pick up his father from Boston at the Boston hotel because he was there drinking at the pub that he had the Uber drop them off at the pond because Jack's mother did not want Scott at the house with her being intoxicated the way that he was. Callahan allegedly held his father's head underwater until he no longer fought back or floated, prosecutors said. He described that he was holding his father in the pond on his back like a baby, and that he continually dunked his father in the water about 4 to 8 times. That when his father started to cough and choke, he would lift his head up, and when his father started to fight and strike him, he'd push his head back down into the water. Jack Callahan suffers from some substance abuse issues and ongoing mental health issues that had recently surfaced. Jack was arrested and detained, and he's pled not guilty and being held without bail.
In this incident at the pond, that he believed that he was baptizing his father. He described that he was holding his father in the pond on his back like a baby, that he continually dunked the father's head in the water about 4 to 8 times, that when the father started to cough and choke, he would lift his head up, and then when the father started to fight and strike him, he pushed the head back down into the water. He did so until his father was no longer struggling and floating. The defendant indicated to officers that he made statements to the victim at this time, stating, "I left them there to decide. You can come to heaven with me or hell." I think he chose hell.
He has a next court appearance that's scheduled for August 12th, in which he's been ordered to undergo a competency evaluation ahead of the next hearing. So they're basically just going to check and see if he is capable to stand trial, considering what he told the prosecutor, the reasoning as to why he killed his father, allegedly. The police said that Jack was banging his head on the floor, and one of the officers had to put their boot under his head to kind of soften the blow. That they talked to him, and they believed that he posed a risk of danger to himself. Apparently he had no record, Jack Callahan. He had no record as far as any former issues. I don't believe that he had any mental issues that had been reported or had been something that he was working on. But then again, there's not really a lot to go off of as far as what has been released so far. But you have to wonder, and this is what gets my mind thinking, and I know that some people will probably think that I'm crazy, but I run a scary channel, for God's sake, so I have to think of all kinds of things. What if, we talk about demons here often, and what if, this was something that he really believed, something that, there was a demon in my father and I was trying to baptize him. You have to realize you have to think that there's a reason why people think that the way that they do. So, and that's what it doesn't intrigue me, but it just makes me wonder. Tell me in the comments what you think. Why do you think people do these sorts of things? Or why do you think they blame demons and religion? Because this isn't the first person that has actually killed somebody in the name of a demon. I heard a story the other day of somebody who had sacrificed 2 young girls for lottery winnings. And this is something that truly happened. So people do things in the name of religion for crazy stuff. So let me know what you think. Anyway, thank you so much for sticking around through True Crime Tuesday. I know that it's some of y'all's favorite time of the week. It's mine too, because that is the scariest content I make. If you want to support my channel, please support me using my Patreon. The link is down below. I'm also working on getting a new computer. So if you want to donate to that fund, you're more than welcome to do that. Link also below. All of my socials. Follow me. Hang out with us in Discord. All the stuff is below. I'll see you next week. Have a good one. Bye.